In this video, I'm going to walk you through setting up NetBeans to use the Simkit library. So this is something that using a third-party library was not covered. So some of this may be new. What should be not so new is how to create a new project. So you can create a new project, make sure it's Java with Ant and a class library. So go to Next, and put in MV3302, and for me, I will call it class code, okay, to distinguish mine from yours, just as we did last quarter. Make sure that this checkbox, use dedicated folder for storing libraries, and the libraries folders is lib. Make sure that that's checked, because that's where Simkit is going to go. So we go next, and we now have our project. So, right, so now the next step is to go to Sakai, and let's get there. Come on. We'll be there in a second. Okay, Sakai. And to our discrete simulation modeling. Now, in the resources section are downloads. And in downloads is Simkit 155. Sort of, you can click on that. So I'm using Chrome, so it's going to be kind of down here. And it's a very small file, a little over 7, almost 8 megabytes. Not too big, but small but mighty. Okay, open that up. However you do it, if you're on Windows, it's going to be a little bit different. But in the zip file, you'll see there are a bunch of stuff. The main things are this Simkit jar file. That is the most important thing. And then 2 optional files. One is this contains all of the source code for Simkit, and these are the Java docs. Okay, so now that we've downloaded that, we go back to NetBeans and right-click on your project and choose Properties. Then in the left-hand panel, choose Libraries. You'll see there's module path and class path. We want to add to the class path. So go to the second plus here, click that plus, and we want to add a library. And it will come, it should look like this. If it doesn't look exactly like that, then maybe back off and try again. All right, so let's create that. Let's call it Simkit. And the thing about Simkit that the K is not capitalized, so it's capital S, small k. Just if you do it this way, it makes life easy for me, just so you know. All right, and then we now want to customize that library. So there are 3 tabs we need to worry about. First is the class path. So click on Add jar/folder. In this case, it's kind of starting off in our down here. Now you navigate to wherever you downloaded it. And in my case, that is in Downloads. Where the heck are you? Here. Oops. That's just a zip file. I want the folder. Where are you, folder? There you are. Okay, so the class path, choose the Simkit jar file. Say add jar folder. And are we sure? We are absolutely sure. Now the other 2 are optional, but they will really kind of help out. So you can add the sources. and then probably most important, the Java doc. So those are all zipped up here. And then we say OK, and then add library. If you accidentally cancel out, it won't happen. Verify class path Simkit. We say OK. And now to verify this is actually there, if you actually open up that libraries tab, you will see there's your JDK. This will be whatever JDK you're using, but here's the Simkit jar file as part of the libraries as well. So so now at this point, let's just verify that the classes in Simkit can be found. So let's create our package, and our package MV3302 lowercase. Remember, packages are lowercase by convention. And then just in preparation for the first computer assignment, we'll create a new Java class called Arrival Process, because that's the first one we're going to be doing. And when we create that, we have all this other junk here. But then to make sure that we can actually find the Simkit classes, make sure that Arrival Process extends sim entity base. That sim entity base is the workhorse base class that contains much of the functionality that you'll be using. Now, of course, we get a red squiggly, cannot find the symbol. When you can't do that, you go to the little light bulb, click on that, and then we have a whole bunch of options, but the one we want is to add the import. And so the import, we now have no red squigglies, so what that means is that the Simkit library has indeed been found. Okay, so now now we need to start doing Git. So let's now there are a variety of ways of doing it, and for some reason, if you don't have well, you might, if you right click. No, I don't. On yours, it should say versioning systems. But for some reason on mine, because I was using an older versioning system called Subversion, a very cutesy name, instead you can go to Team, Other VCS, choose Git, initialize repository. So we want to initialize this repository. Your NetBeans will probably be a little bit nicer than what this is. Okay, so now we see that things are in green, and if we right click and look at show changes, crap, why are you doing this to me?